everybody. Welcome, welcome. We've got a few announcements before we get started. So let me put the ladies up here and gent. Let's see here. We got Melinda tonight with us. Hey guys. So, so we have a few announcements. First, Becky, you want to tell them about Mom's Group?
I do. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. on Zoom, we have a Mom's Group we call the MOB, which stands for Mothers of Battlefield. Anyway, it's a great group. We get on, we talk about the previous night's topic or just whatever is going on in our lives. It's been really great to get to know the moms. It's probably my next best thing to in-group coaching. If you weren't there last week, got one coming up we'll tell you about. But anyway, if you can join us, I wrote information how to contact Angie, Kristen, or I to get the link in the chat.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Join us tomorrow morning. We love it. We enjoy it. And it's for all ladies. So join us. Next week, next Tuesday, there will not be a solution group. So mark your calendars. No solution group next week. We'll resume the following. And the most important topic of the night is our Tough Mudder. We've got Melinda and Josh over here going to tell us a little bit about it. We've also got Bill here that has been part of the Tough Mudder too, and he can share a little bit. But Josh and Melinda, will you share a little bit? What's Tough Mudder? When is it? What does everybody need to know?
Yeah, so this year Tough Mudder is September 24th. We've done it for 3 years. We've had Team Battlefield at Tough Mudder. It's amazing. If you don't know what it is, don't look it up. Just sign up. That's the best way to do it. That's my advice. But if you do look it up, don't be scared. It says run. We don't run any, wherever you are fitness wise, you can do Tough Mudder. It's based more on teamwork than timing and competition, which is amazing. So the first year I did it, it was me and my son, Troy, who was in recovery. Best experience we've ever had. Josh here and my younger son said, no way, they would never do it. By the time we finished one obstacle and came back, they were in. The next 2 years, our entire family did it. So it's amazing whether you have somebody in recovery or not. Our logo, our theme for Tough Mudder Battlefield is We Got You, which is so fitting. Well, I'll try and put it in the chat, the link where you go. It's Battlefield Addiction, We Got You. Sign up there. You're not officially signing up for Tough Mudder there, but you will be on the list and all the info will get sent to you. We're looking for at least 13 people so we can get these cool jerseys. You can only get one by signing up and doing a Tough Mudder. I'm going to try and turn around here. This logo is only for Tough Mudder. We got you. So if you want the exclusive, you have to do it. Yeah, I don't know what else there is, but it's amazing.
We've got 5 people already signed up, possibly 7.
So just in our family and close friends, because the experience is something. Like even just looking at those little pictures up there, it's amazing. If you don't have a loved one to do it with, we're all there. And we got you. It'll be fun and amazing. And you should just do it with us.
And we do have a Facebook group on, if you search on Facebook, Battlefield Addiction Tough Mudder, you'll find the private group that we have and you can join. And that's where all the postings and information will be. We'll also repost the old albums from the other years. And if you just go through it, I mean, gosh, you'll totally want to be a part of it. Whether you want to be a participant with the Davises, or you want to be a spectator with me. As you can see, we've got spectators up here in one of those pictures up there. There's a big cheering section, and that's the section I'll be. Or if you want to get muddy and get one of those exclusive shirts. Now, if you were a spectator like me, you don't get the cool jerseys. There's no way. You have to participate, actually be a participant. But we have a lot of fun even spectating. So mark your calendars for that day. It's just an inspiring day. And like Melinda said, it's not a competition. It's really about nobody's left behind. and everybody finishes together. And you start as a group, you finish as a group, you help other groups. Battlefield Addiction is kind of becoming really known there at Tough Mudder too, because they don't leave other groups behind even. I mean, it's really, really super cool. So
if anything, go sign up in the link to get all the stuff, and then we can add you to the Facebook group and watch the video because it's cool.
Definitely, good point. Because some people don't even know how to navigate on Facebook. So just let us know and we'll add you. So however we can get you the information, and so yeah, it's going to be a great time. And Bill, do you have anything to add? He did Tough Mudder as a participant as well.
Yeah, I did it last time it was held, and everything Melinda said is true. It's not a run, it's not a race. If you can do it as a family, that was one of the best things about it that I witnessed. My son didn't do it; I just did it by myself. So,
but I cheered you on.
Yeah,
yes, me and Becky were on the sidelines.
No,
I would encourage everybody that's rebuild to do it.
Oh yeah.
And if you know, we'll sponsor anybody that wants to do it. If somebody wants to do it, I'll pony up, because I'm not doing it this year.
He's going to come and cheer.
I'm going to come and cheer, but I'm going to hold out this year. But there's nothing in there that I couldn't do when I was 65 years old. I mean, everything you can do. It's just whether you want to get dirty and wet and but you can even if you can't swing like Melinda's son did. Man, God, he did the thing like like a breeze last year. I couldn't believe what he could do. But anyway, even if you can't do it like that, you can assist other people doing it. So yeah, it was.
And they will assist you as well.
That
a lot of assisting for you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I would do it if you have any interest at all. It was really fun.
And I love that, Bill. You said you'll sponsor somebody. You know what we'll do?
Yeah, if anybody at Rebuild wants to do it, I'll pony up to sponsor him if that's an issue. We need to get more than 13 people. I think we had over 20, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
I think we had like 30. Yeah, 35 or something, and plus the spectators, something like that.
Yeah, we almost doubled the second year.
Yeah, and you get all those shirts all working together, and everybody stays together. It's not like we're spread out over the length of this course. Right. Everybody's in their group, and so it's a good presence to see all those shirts there. So, and
it's that reminds me, our last one, even there was a man who stopped me at one of the stops and asked about our shirts, and he was actually there doing it with his daughter who was newly in recovery. So you even meet just the most random people, and it's so cool.
Oh man, that's so cool. Eileen, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry, I joined late. Melinda, how long is it? Is it like a 5K? Is it a lot of running, or is it mostly obstacle?
It's a 15K, and there's 20 to 30 obstacle. I haven't even looked it up this year. I know it's changed a little bit because we haven't done it in 2 years from COVID. I don't even know how long it took us, a couple hours, but we do not run. Like I don't. Okay. No.
It's walking, a lot of walking, and like I said, we try to be at the obstacles at the same time.
Yeah. So if anybody's slower, we wait until everybody's going at one time, which takes the most time.
There's a fair amount of waiting because some of the obstacles are like the net plane, the cargo net. I mean, you're standing there waiting to get over that for quite a while because there's groups. I mean, everybody gets this up to those obstacles at the same time. So it's not like you're out of breath when you get there.
I don't know if it's in the video, but there's maybe not, because there's large portions where the spectators aren't even at, like through woods where we're just going through trails. And the feeling being back there, like there's people chanting like we would, Battlefield, and just watching, I won't say kids, but people in recovery that step up to be leaders during this event is just, it's amazing. It's an amazing experience.
So,
Thank you. Sounds fun.
Yeah,
it is so much fun. And we'll come up with some kind of fun way where we'll promote the sponsoring somebody. So we'll do that because we do want anybody at Rebuild, Recovery, in the program or outer houses or anything, we do want them to participate. And of course, finances are an issue to get registered. So we'll come up with a fun way to sponsor. So we'll get that out there, probably next month in July. So we'll start promoting that. And then you guys, Renee just asked in the chat, I can't do a pull-up. Is that a problem?
No,
No,
not even close. No, not a problem.
mm-mm,
Cool.
no.
Cool.
You can start practicing now, but yeah, no.
Lift her over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not me personally.
Yeah, they literally.
I think there was probably points where they just kind of like grabbed my leg
Toss
and
people
pushed
over?
me. Yeah, yeah. As long as you don't mind people touching you, then you're good.
Yeah.
As long as you don't like mud
Yeah.
in your pants, you're good.
Everywhere.
Even Angie doesn't like mud, and every time after, there's a little tiny hint where she thinks she might do it, but she doesn't.
Then she chickens out.
I do. I
If you
do.
don't mind slight electrical shocks.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, let's mute Bill now before people say
Yeah,
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 like,
we don't want him to scratch it.
I was just
You know-
kidding. I never got shocked.
I love the team spirit. I love the camaraderie. I get so inspired by that I always feel like I missed out. Like I want to be a part of that. I really do. But ultimately, mud is just so not my thing. So I will continue being the cheerleader for everybody. Or maybe I'll be the photographer. I'll actually register and go along the route. Maybe this year, we'll see. But anyways, it's just such a good time, y'all, whether you participate, whether you spectate, just plan ahead. Also for spectators, I need to get on this. If you already know you're going to be a spectator, you want to register now too, because let's see, there is a small fee for spectators. It's not as big as the participants, but it's also parking. You want to go ahead. I highly encourage everybody to get a premium parking spot because just the distance from the parking to the event is quite a feat. So I always get a premium. It's a long walk, even for just us spectators. Like I wake up sore the next day and I didn't even do it. So I don't know. It's crazy, but it's just going to be a great time. And it's an all day event and all that. So it's like all day long. So
Is it at the same place?
yeah, it's at the same place, and that's in Black Diamonds.
Yeah.
So it's here local, and so more information to come. Find the group on Facebook, or if you can't find it, let us know. We'll add you to it and get registered. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to Melinda or me, and if you reach out to me, I'll probably direct you to Melinda, who's more.
There's a form. I'll try and put it on here, but even the website, I think it's Battlefield Addiction. We got you. There's a form you can fill out with your info to get text messages and all the info as well.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Can't wait. All right. Well, with that, we better get started. So let me get everybody off of spotlights here. And then let's go over to the crew over at Rebuild Recovery. Where you guys at? Here they come. Hey, guys. Hey. Okay.
Kyle's not here.
Yeah.
Don't forget my joke.
No
Yeah.
comedy tonight.
No, we got
he's here.
comedy.
Kyle's gonna do him.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Okay, well, let's get him over on Spotlight. Let's find him. There he is. All right, Kyle, add, and let me, all right, go ahead, Kyle.
Keep the star down. All right, can you hear me good?
No. It's all right. It's not good.
You're a little muffly. You gotta talk loud.
Hold on, let's try this.
And if you're new tonight, Kyle is a manager over
How
at
about
Rebuild
now?
Recovery.
Yeah.
Way better.
I just can't fucking hear. Sorry for my French.
Nice lady.
Nicely.
We keep it real
There
here,
we go.
guys. We keep it real here. Welcome.
Okay. I went to a laundromat. While there, the coin machine stopped working. It doesn't make any sense. I had a dream last night that I was swimming in an ocean of orange soda, but it was just a fantasy. There was this crazy wife who went to her husband and said, "Hey, it's raining moose." And he goes, "No, that's just reindeer." You know, I had to buy some new furniture for the Kent house. I went there, talked to the salesman. He brought me to the biggest couch he has. He says, "You know, this can fit 5 people with no problem." I said, "Well, I don't got 5 people with no problems." If anybody is interested in buying an ark, I know a guy.
Come on.
Yeah.
Noah's Ark. Come
Yeah.
on. Ark.
You know, I have a heart of a lion, but now I can't go to the zoo. I'm banned. Like a little heart. Get it? Boom, 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 boom. How do Romans cut their hair? With Caesars. I thought I had this really good pun about wind, but it actually kind of blows.
Oh, it's a bad night for
It gets better. How does Moses? Hebrews it. All right, last one. You know, I think when I pass away, I want to be cremated. It's the last hope I have of having a smoking hot body.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. All right, let's bring it on over to Art, and I think we're ready to go. Let's do a little sound check.
Okay, we good?
Yeah, we're good. All right.
So this week has been it used to be when we used to do this, we were running the big house and we were running the treatment center and the outer houses, and it was every week was like a sitcom, and it would start on Wednesday and there would be lessons learned and things talked about and behavior acted out, and then we would get to Tuesday and I could be able to sum it up in some kind of lesson like a sitcom. I've told you guys that mainly I've turned kind of philosophical rather than any kind of like teaching change or anything like that, because it came a little difficult. But tonight we're going to get back to like maybe a solution for you and a solution for the people that are struggling in relationships or whatever is going on between couples. That kind of showed up this week. There was a lot of couple stuff and fights and disagreements and there was also a lot of kind of confrontational behavior between two people that kind of got into each other, got a little pissed off with each other, and you could see tempers rise and all that happened. And we had it happen at the lake, and we had it happen on the work sites, and we've had a lot of couple stuff. So the first thing I want to say is that we have to understand that, and this is my opinion, but in my opinion, I'm not in a relationship with you, and you're not in a relationship with me, and two people aren't in a relationship with just two people. There has to be a notice of what's at play. And what's at play in a relationship is if I'm in a relationship with a girlfriend or I'm in a relationship with anyone, what is there is there's like six of us. There's six things. And there's like me, my thoughts and my insecurities, and you and your thoughts and your insecurities. And so at some point, you're not dealing with a human being, you're dealing with their insecurities, and they're dealing with yours. And then sometimes somebody doesn't want to share their thoughts. They want to keep it to themselves. So that's kind of like, well, you're cheating on me with your thoughts and you don't want to express them to me, and you will go talk about them to other people. So being in a relationship with these things that are at play and understanding that I'm in a relationship with a woman or for me specifically, if I'm in a relationship with a woman, my job seems to be, if I'm now dealing with her insecurities, then to me, my job is now to secure those insecurities and make this person feel safe. And if you're in a relationship with your kid and their insecurities are coming up, then your job as a parent is to make that kid feel safe and secure. And so when we say insecurities, we're not just talking about like our looks or our body or anything. We're talking about these things that upset us and these things that scare us and these times when we're not safe. And then what do we do in these times when we don't feel safe? What kind of language do we use? How do we present? And then you see that there's two kind of ways that we live. We either live open or we live closed. And when our insecurities hit, we close down and we get defensive and we say mean shit and we say things that are just crazy. And one thing that's in common is that when people have these acting from insecurities afterwards, they feel stupid. They feel kind of dumb. I wish I wouldn't have said that to this person. I don't really mean that. And again, this isn't something that ever goes away. Like our insecurities don't go away. It's a long path. They hopefully what you do is you become a bigger person, and you become, so along this path, I am reminded that I fall back into it too. And when my insecurities hit, I begin to yell and I begin to defend and I begin to do the same things. And it's no different for me. I just have less of them because of this process. So tonight, I'd like to tell you what the process is. And you really want to get better. Well, you want to get rid of your insecurities because, there's this thing like, God's will. And so for the first time, when I got to step 3, back when I used to work steps and everything, it said in step 3 that I made a decision to turn my will and my life over to God as I understood him. And I could operate my life through God's will. But I had a big problem with that. I used to try to play with it. What's God's will? Well, it's whatever I want. And I could try to figure that out. Like I used to I would talk to myself like I was talking to God, but God's voice sounded eerily like mine. And so now I would have these talks, and I thought, I could kind of twist it and get the answer from God, whatever one I wanted, like it's God's will that I help people, or it's God's will that I don't, or it's God's will that I have money, or it's God's will that I don't have money, or it's God's will that I go to this wedding, or it's not. And, it's God's will that I have this girl. Oh, I need her. That must be God's will for me. Look she's here. She's on the beach. It's got to be God's will. Well, maybe it's not. And so I had to find a way to kind of figure that out. Well, what is God's will? And what I settled on acceptance. I settled on that what it is the way it is. And what happens. And so I started to learn that for me, God's will was simple. It was just acceptance. It was just, if I'm living in acceptance, and to me that meant something, because then people would say, what you need to do is you need to like accept. Well, I learned over time that acceptance isn't something we do. There isn't something. If somebody tells you, hey, if you're pissed off, if you're angry, and somebody says you should just accept that, we don't just accept that. There's things that we have to do. So what I realized was that acceptance isn't a thing we do, it's a place we stay. So acceptance is this location. It's this location that we can live from and work from. And I call that the same thing as God's will in my journey. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to live in God's will, and I wanted to stay there. So what I meant, I took it out of God's will, and I said, what I want to do is I want to live in acceptance, and I want to stay there. And when I live in acceptance, I don't say those things. I don't do those things. I don't say things I regret when I'm in acceptance. All the problems that occur in my life come from this state of non-acceptance. It's when I'm pulled out of my seat and now I'm in non-acceptance and I'm acting from a place where I shouldn't be operating my own life from, let alone talking to other people. And so what I had to do was I had to limit the time I spent in non-acceptance. I had to limit that, and I had to find a way that I could live most of life, not all of it, but most of it, in a place of acceptance. And if I did, I had a good chance at, it seemed to me, I had a good chance at not using drugs. And then I had a good chance at not saying something stupid. And I had a good chance of not living in regret. And I have a good chance of success operating my life. And so there was a process to it. And there was an understanding. Also, what we used to call it was, we used to say, I'm either set or I'm upset. And what we want to do is we want to learn to live set. And we don't want to be upset. And so there's a process that happens here. And people need to understand what goes down. And what goes down is that this thing happens or occurs, somebody says or does something to us that causes us to feel insecure. Now, when we say insecure, it might mean fear. It might mean jealousy. It just might mean unsafeness. It might mean a lot of things. There's a lot of way to be insecure. So we're not labeling it like, oh, my butt doesn't look good, I'm insecure about that. No, we're insecure about everything. Now, if you say, when I get insecure, what happens is I get upset. So what happens is there's this feeling across my body of an unsafeness in some kind of way, and there's a detection going on, and I get pulled from my seat of acceptance, and I get pulled up like this. And so when we saw people get in a confrontation, it's like that. It's like, like, fuck you, really moving on people and saying shit that's just wildly crazy. And somebody's saying shit to you, and you're like, whoa, they're nuts. They're not nuts. They're just not in acceptance. They're just not feeling safe. They're feeling really scared, and they're defending themselves, or they're lashing out, or they're doing whatever they're doing. And we do this to each other all the time. And so what happens to get better is it's a simple process. You first get in your seat. You live there. You understand, I'm going to deal with this thing, or I'm going to deal with this difficult person. And when I'm doing that, what takes me out? Well, what takes us out is a rise in our blood pressure. So what it does when we don't feel safe is our heart starts beating faster than it was before. And when it starts beating like that, we have adrenaline and cortisol. And what that does is pulls us out of our seat. And my practice used to be very, very in-depth, where I could learn to be with really difficult situations and difficult people. But the way that I had to do it is we can't let this go to the mind. See, what happens is the body's affected first. And after the body's affected, the mind starts racing. And that's why you say dumb shit and do dumb shit, because the mind is racing and you don't know how to even control your tongue. And you begin to say, talk out of your ass. And the reason is because your heart's pumping fast, and that's making your mind go. And then your mind goes and makes your heart pump faster. And it's a cycle. And so the first thing is to keep it in the body. And the way that we work on our insecurities is, one, we keep it in the body. And we notice that when we're getting upset, when we're getting out of acceptance, when we notice these things, we now are able to look at our body and focus on how our body's reacting. And the goal is to keep it out of the mind. Now, that might not work. It might get to the mind. The goal is, I'm getting in this relationship with this other person. They're pissing me off. But what I'm doing is, there's my heart rate. There's cortisol and adrenaline. I can feel it running through my veins. And I'm not focused on this human being anymore. I'm focused on my body. I don't care what they're saying. I don't care what they're doing. I'm focusing on my heart. I'm focusing on my adrenaline. I'm focusing on the clenching of my hands, or the wanting to run or whatever it is. And I'm keeping it in the body. And now, to keep it in the body makes you aware of your body, and it keeps it out of the mind, which slows this whole process down. So when somebody's yelling at you, when you're feeling that stuff, you're taking a breath. And now this is our return to our mindfulness that I talked about last week. And this was what mindfulness meant to us, to the people that were working it back with me. And it meant, here, I'm going to get bigger. What my goal is to not close, not get defensive, not go to non-acceptance. That's the goal. So I'm now going to be more effective at dealing with this person and communicating. I'm going to be more effective at, expanding rather than getting small. So when we hit our insecurities and we leave set to go upset, right there is telling us where we're small, telling us that we're little. So insecure people get in this state way more. People that haven't dealt with their insecurities, confident people that have true confidence, people that have worked on their insecurities, they don't get in this state. So there's a chance that you can live months and months and months with never getting into non-acceptance, with never getting into a different way of operating your life, and things can happen in your life and you can just go, yeah, that happened, and accept it. And I talked about acceptance last night, and I said, I've learned to accept life before it happens. I know. Guess what? Tomorrow's going to sabotage me. Guess what? It's coming in the mail, the bill I didn't know. Guess what? My furnace is going to break. Guess what? People are going to say dumb shit. Guess what? I'm going to lose money and I'm going to gain money. I'm going to accept. And when I lose money, I've already accepted it. When I've gained money, I've already accepted it. See, there's the other part, is gain, non-acceptance of gain, and going crazy because something good happened and thinking it should never happen to you. So you just get used to life, the roller coaster of it, and you learn to operate your life from a space. Now the process is simple. What I do to get better and improve as a human being is I attribute every single upset to not them. I attribute every time I get upset to my insecurities. And I take a look and I go, I'm upset. I must be insecure. Now, this is weird for people. I'm upset. You must change. I'm upset. You need to fucking do something different. No, you will never grow. You will never get bigger. So to get bigger, it's I'm upset because I'm scared, I'm insecure. Now, you might not be able to keep it online, but you can bring it back. So the point isn't to eliminate the fact that you're going to get upset, not to eliminate the fact that you're going to leave acceptance. The point is to get back as quick as you can. And there's a process to acceptance. There's what I do to get back to acceptance. I calm down. I speak to the person. I don't hold it as a resentment. I want to get through this quickly as possible. I want to investigate what happened there with my body. What am I scared of here? What is the truth? What do I really need to say to this person? What do I want from them? What am I asking for? And maybe you'll just find you get to a place where you go, I don't know. I don't even know. I just don't want this, or whatever it is. Or maybe you're around a person that you shouldn't be. But you can't tell if you're around people that you shouldn't be until you stop getting upset with a lot of people. If you live with hundreds of people and you're never getting upset, and then you find one guy and he upsets you, well, he's probably the problem. You probably need to leave that asshole. But if everyone is upsetting you and everyone irritates you and you're bothered all the time, you're fucked up. It's just not that way. You need to work on some shit. And so for me, that's what it means. And yesterday we talked about our spiritual maintenance and what it means to practice this spiritual maintenance, to wake up and to go, what did I do yet? Or to go to bed and say, did anything happen today that I regret? Did I say some stupid shit that I need to apologize for? And then look out and plan for tomorrow. And what this really means is when I'm around people that upset me, it's like driving in the snow. And I say it all the time. When you're driving around the city, you can pick up your phone and you can grab it and you can turn the radio and you can listen to music and you probably won't get in an accident. But when you drive across the pass and it's snowing, you go like this. And so when you're with difficult people, to watch your body that's where you keep your focus. Right there. I'm going to deal with my boss who I can't stand and I don't want to get upset. I'm going to get bigger here. That shit's going to hit. Resentment, what that arrow coming in, it's like the words just boom, pulls you like that. Then you're saying dumb shit and you're in it and you're already too gone and you can't even keep an eye on yourself. But when your blood pressure is boom, 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 you can keep an eye on yourself. Your brain can think, what am I doing right now? What's happening? You can't think after this experience. So the process of getting better, and this is what a solution to being better in a relationship, to be with each other's insecurities, to share your thoughts about each other's insecurities, to secure the other person. Person is telling you they're mad at you for this. No, they're just insecure about that. They're just not feeling safe with you and they don't know how to really process and articulate why they don't feel safe. And so they don't understand how to do that. It's just anger and frustration, and people don't generally process well enough with themselves. But by keeping this set position, understanding every day, am I set or am I upset? Am I in acceptance, the location of it? And what we want to do is you want to be in this location of acceptance, and then you want to start pushing the walls back. You want to start growing that location so you can handle more and more shit. You just see insecure people fluctuating all day, mad 1 second, angry 1 second, pissed off, yelling once, down, up, down, up, down, up. This person needs a practice. This person needs to be aware of themselves. This person needs to understand their own heart rate. It's going up and down, and they are literally a tumbleweed to their heart rate. And they're just going with whatever their heart's at. And they don't change because they don't look, because they're blaming. You upset me, you upset me, and you upset me, and you upset me. I'm upset because, I'm upset because you did this. No, you're not. You're upset because you're insecure that I did that. Now you need to fix that insecurity, or you're going to be upset that people are doing shit all the time. And there's no way out of that. What we want is peace. What we want is freedom of the mind. I don't want to get like that and then think of the person for 2 hours later. I don't have to resent. I can actually feel it the first time and be done with it. I can have it hit me. I can feel what you said. And then maybe I can stay calm and I can go, wow, man, that was a tough one. But you must have showed me one of my insecurities because I need to talk, man. Let's talk this out. And I see you're insecure. And if I'm with a woman or I tell that woman seems insecure, I'll tell you, oh man, I believe it's truly our job. It's our job to make our girlfriend feel safe. And that might not be everybody's belief, but it's mine. I believe that it is my job. And if I'm dealing with her insecurities a lot, I need to take a look, because why am I hitting those? I need to take a look and see what kind of things I'm doing. Or maybe this person's getting upset all the time and maybe they are a lunatic and I need to get away from them. That could be the case. But until I've done this investigation of myself and learned this process of attributing every upset all day, I'm upset at traffic. Why? I'm in non-acceptance and punching the steering wheel because of traffic. Well, you're insecure, definitely. You're a freak. And so you start learning. But then if you do this practice and you get big enough, well, you stop, because you start realizing, Jesus, if I don't get upset at this person, I might not be protecting myself. I'm around a really upset person, a really crazy person, and I'm not really getting upset. Well, maybe you need to be. So you don't want to go too far because, at some point, you have to keep yourself safe. You can't just, walk down a war zone and not get upset because you might get shot in the head, stupid. So you gotta kind of figure this stuff out. And so with this one thing you got to establish is, what does it look like when you're operating your own life from the right place? What does that look like? Some of us have been in non-acceptance so many years, whining and complaining about what happened, blaming other people, that we've never really even got to a safe place, of a safe location of acceptance inside of us. We've never realized where I need to be normal. And I got to find that place inside of me. I got to find that place, because everything outside of that place is painful. It's all pain. And when I get in pain, I dump that pain on you. Unless I learn how to stay out of the painful place and how to be able to attribute my pain to my fear, attribute my pain to my insecurities, attribute my pain to all this stuff inside me. If they say if there's nothing in a microwave, it doesn't get hot. So if you're getting hot, that's your microwave. You got something in there, man. And somebody else might hear the same shit and not get hot. And you got to ask yourself why. Because they don't got nothing in there. And people always say, you hit my shit. And they say it like, don't do that. Don't hit my shit. I want to keep my shit, is what they're saying. I like my shit. So just don't hit it, because it tells me I have it. And I don't want anyone telling me I got shit, but I'm full of it. And what happens is, the process is, your shit gets hit. And when you attribute how you feel to your shit, it diminishes your shit. And you can just stay there with it and watch it go down. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body, and whatever you want to call it. But we got this thing that lights us up and takes us out of our seat, and it's hit. And we know we're activated. And what you do when that gets activated is you attribute it to yourself. I got this pain body, man, and you hit it. When you hit my pain body, I can't blame you anymore. I got to blame it. Like a paint can, you begin to diminish this thing. And you get bigger and more open, and you can handle different shit, and you can have a big life. But the more that you keep yourself in these, not blaming all your insecurities on other people, blaming all your anger on everyone else, wanting everyone else to change so that you can be peaceful, it will not happen. You'll never get there. So it's a great process. It's wake up, meditate, pray. I don't care what you're praying to, but wake up, get positioned, get ready, get set. But you got to make sure the night before you cleared all your upsets from that, or you're going to carry those into tomorrow. So you need to be fresh. And then you need to wake up, and you need to kind of get your dukes up a little bit, and you need to be prepared, and you need to drive in the snow, and you need to first watch yourself, and you need to know that moment that you go from set to upset. You need to know what that transition was about. You need to feel it. And then you need to attribute it to, wow, my insecurities made me upset again. Took me out of this place, and I'm now in non-acceptance. And when I'm living in non-acceptance, there's a real clear thing that's going on in my head. When I'm in non-acceptance, it's saying it shouldn't be that way. They shouldn't have done that. This is what I should say to this motherfucker when I see him. This is what I should have said last time when I was talking to him. This is all the other person's problems, and let me just list them out as I go. And this is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to get the text ready right now. People that go from set to upset, boy, they text faster. If you ever seen people on the text, ooh, I got to tell them, I got him this time. And then you send the text, I think I got him this time. Text it out. They come back with something crazier than the fucking last time. You're like, whoa, that's how it happens. You look ridiculous when you're upset. I know I do. I feel ridiculous. I always say there's two arts. There's like art that's cool and common, and there's like art. Like, you're not gonna fucking say that to me. It's like fucking ridiculous. Arguing with I was arguing the other night with some old lady at the poker table. She's like really like 70-year-old Indian woman. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking bust you. I'm just like yelling at her. Like, she's drunk on tequila, and I'm yelling at her. Like, afterwards, I'm like, I'm ridiculous. How can this lady hit my insecurities? An old lady just playing poker. She did. And so it reminded me of, there it is. They're not going away. Your insecurities will just get different. You know, things will be bigger. You'll handle bigger things, you know, but you have to practice and you have to have some awareness of it. And you got to start doing blood pressure work. Take the breath, feel your heartbeat. You know, your life operates great when your heartbeat's at boom, 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 at boom, 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 boom. Not good, not good. You might do irreversible damage in your relationships in that state. You might not be able to come back from it. I see guys that call their girlfriend the C word, or women that call their man, and I go, you cannot come back from that. It's over. Yeah. You'll never, ever, ever have a good relationship. So grounding yourself in a place of acceptance, understanding what it looks like to be there, making that your life's mission to stay there, getting prepared. Oh, somebody just hit my car. Boom. All right. You see the asshole get out and yell at everybody when his car gets hit, or like, it's a car accident, dipshit. You think somebody purposely hit your car? You're a dipshit. It's like, hey, then you see a guy, he gets out and he goes, hey, is everyone all right? That's cool. That's cool of that person. So, but we have a thing that says, be cool, don't be a dick. That's about the rules of the program. This is how. This is it. Don't be a dick. I've seen people getting frustrated with each other. We have Travis. Travis gets right on the edge about 3 times a day. His blood pressure goes up. You know, he wants it his way, no other way. I just tell Travis, take your meds. He doesn't have any meds, but you know, he hasn't even been given any, but he should. So we learn to calm it down. We learn to like have forethought and see our life and how it's going to develop and have a vision. We get out of the rearview mirror and get out of like sitting here thinking about what happened yesterday and what people have done. We move on quickly. We don't resent. There's nothing to, it just hit my shit and I just noticed it and I'm just directing it towards my shit and I'm figuring out why I have that shit and then it diminishes. I'm not sitting in my head thinking that person should be different. They shouldn't have said that, because that makes me smaller rather than bigger. My goal is to keep open. That kind of leads me down to the path of, you know, I've never heard many people say that I want to be loved. And then after that sentence say, so I need to be more lovable. That's not something most people say. I haven't heard anybody say, I want people to care about me more, so I need to be more open to people caring about me, and I need to be more caring person myself. So, hey, I want to be loved. I want people to love me. Yeah, I know you're a dick. You're insecure, defensive, you're closed down, and people can't love you. But when you open your arms up and you look at people and you're at peace, people can love you. And you're in acceptance. People can't love people in non-acceptance. You can't. You can't love them out of it either, because they don't want to be loved out of it. They want to be in non-acceptance and they want to make everything miserable the rest of the day for everyone around. That's just how it goes. I'm in pain and I want to kind of dump some around. But I'm in pain and it's me. And it's my insecurities, and I need to learn to process that pain and get back to acceptance, because pain either turns into acceptance or it gets transferred to other people. So either my pain gets turned to acceptance, or I transfer it onto you, or I transfer it onto you and I yell at you and I blame you, and then I transfer my pain. So imagine all the pain in the world if everyone would just be in acceptance today. All the pain goes away. If everyone took accountability for themselves and said, I need to accept the way it is, accept my life, all the pain would just disappear. I accept that you believe in that religion and I love that, man. That's cool. I accept that you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat, and I accept that, truly accepted it. I accept you're different. All of a sudden, all the pain would just disappear. But that non-acceptance keeps all the pain transferring around and moving together. And now I'm going to come over and blow your country up. You don't believe what I do believe. So we're not even transferring real pain. We're transferring opinionated pain. Not even factual pain. It's not what you did to me. It's what you're thinking over there. I need to come get you. And so again, 3 things. I'm not in a relationship with Angie. I'm in a relationship with Angie, her thoughts and her insecurities. And I can see where she's at at any time. I can see if she's in acceptance with me, and I know how to talk then. And I can see if she's in non-acceptance of something, and then I know how to talk then. And I got to learn that. I got to maneuver my way around these insecurities. And, I got to make sure that I'm keeping her safe. Well, hopefully she's accountable to her insecurities. And what she does is she says, wow, I'm insecure. I wonder what's making me so insecure. And then she shares her thoughts and articulates what's wrong with her that makes her feel that way, or what she's really worried about. And then I can share mine, but it doesn't become a war of like, you need to change and you need to change and you need to change. And we make a list. I have your card here. These are the changes that you need to make so that I feel good all day. Well, I have your card here. It's a little bigger. We exchange cards. Ooh, I'll work on that. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to be like this. No, you need to be like this. I am like that. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. I like when you tell somebody there's some way. I used to tell people, somebody would tell me how they're feeling. Like a girl would tell me how they're feeling. I'm like, no, you're not feeling that. It's like, well, I'm feeling that. No, you're not. Yeah, I am. Okay, well, fine. So, I believe at the truest form, if we want to get bigger in life, this is the path. Otherwise, we keep our insecurities, we keep our shit, and we ask the world to not hit it. And we ask the world to, please don't touch my insecurities. You all need to change the way you behave around me. And that'll work. So, it's to me, I revert. I get big and small and big and small, like that little X in the computer. X in the box, big, small, big, small. Sometimes I'm big and I handle things well, and sometimes I'm small, but I never get to the point where I believe that other people should change in any way. That's just a crazy place to be. So I get upset, and then I'll go back to my corner and kind of sit there and regret that, and then think why I was insecure and what caused that in me. I never go back to my corner and contemplate the changes the other person should make. And if I want the person to make changes, well, now I have to stay calm, and I got to get back in that place, and I got to come back, and I got to approach them and hopefully negotiate some change. Hey, I see what I did wrong there. I was kind of messed up.
Clearing the space between you.
Yeah, just kind of but you first kind of got to get back to that place where you're like back to acceptance and go, okay, I kind of fucked up. If you're raring to go back and rehash it and not believe that you fucked up in any way, that's going to be a tough conversation. I think it takes 7 minutes is what they say when our lid is flipped till the time, you go smoke a cigarette, and at one point you're going to like lose it and go kill the person. Or, I used to be living with a woman in my house. And then I remember one time I told her I'm moving out. I just didn't know what to say. And I was so pissed. I was like, I'm moving out. She's like, good, it's your house. I'll take it. And then you go outside and your brain comes back. It's like the cortex, prefrontal cortex comes back and kind of soothes and goes, you're not going to move out of your house. That's stupid. And so you have time to smoke a cigarette, and then it goes away. And so you just don't talk in 7 minutes, but boy, that's hard. That 7 minutes of not telling them what you have to think about them or what you think about what they're doing, that 7 minutes is a tough ride. So you better shorten that. So, I hope that's a pathway for people. So I think it's very clear. Establish a place that you believe you're operating the best from your life, the most acceptance you can get to, that location. Then work to stay there, because acceptance isn't an action. When I can't accept, I can't accept. There's no way around it. And when I do accept, it's because I hear something or something changes in me, and then it puts me back into acceptance. So acceptance is like a happening. And it's something that kind of occurs over a little time. And sometimes it happens by knowledge, and sometimes it happens by action. I can't accept the terms of our relationship right now and where we stand with each other. So we must talk until I can. And if we talk this out and we get to this place, I can get back to my place of acceptance as quickly as possible, and I can begin to operate my life from there. So I need to talk to you. That's why the biggest thing that you can do to me that is harmful and I can't stand is saying, we'll talk about this later. Well, what's my day going to be like until we do? I can't do that. I need to talk now. So when I get upset, I need to talk. If I don't, I can't get back. I think about it and hash it out all day, and I'm unsafe because I'm not set. So you get back to that place, and simple, but it's a lot of work. Relationships, understanding that, hey, wow, that person's really insecure right now. They're upset. I wonder what I've done. I wonder if it's them. I wonder if I got to give on this one, or I wonder if they need to. I better negotiate this thing. It's not always clear. You know, you're not always clear whether you're with a lunatic or whether you're unsafe. I mean, you know, all right. So, I mean, I hope you see a clear way to work. And it's watching for that thing to come in and noticing the moment where you transition from acceptance to non-acceptance. Notice the moment you transition from set to upset. Notice what pulled you out. And at very best, you do that and then get back. But at the very best, you don't even go into non-acceptance. You're able to stay in your seat. You're able to stay there and breathe and stay calm and not get to that place. And the way that occurs is that you start kind of understanding people better. You know, some are better than others. Some of us are scared we haven't felt safe the whole time in our life. Some people are scared their whole life. They've been scared, and you can see it on them. I've seen people come and they almost shake. They're so scared all the time around people. Well, how that person gonna feel safe? So when you go through this process, what you do is you by nature make others feel safe. The less you're yelling, the less I know when I yell, I make people feel very unsafe. And I know when people are yelling, I feel unsafe. So we work on it. So that's what I have for tonight. And we can open it up or whatever, but I think that there's a pathway. And I think that would be working a recovery program. I'm recovering from my insecurities of always being upset and always being scared and doing drugs to make myself feel safe. Drugs do it. That's something that'll put you right into that location of acceptance. Everything's all messed up. You take a nice shot of heroin. There I'm back. Take that beer. But wait, what do people do after they take a drink of that first drink? You go in, you pop they got that crystal scotch thing. The guy comes home and he pulls that cork. He gets the ice cube thing. Chink, chink, pours that scotch, swirls it around, takes the drink, and then what? The relief, where you blow out that big meth, or you take that shot of heroin. What's that is? That's a shot of acceptance. Now, is it the drug or is it the breath? Is it the relief of going into acceptance or is it the drug? Because the alcohol hasn't even taken control yet. So how could it be the booze? You're already in acceptance on your first drink. I used to be totally dope sick, and I knew the dope was coming. And all of a sudden I turned the radio on. I'd be all this turmoil and shit. And then the dope man's on the way. I turn that on. I'm vacuuming, washing dishes, happy as hell. Before are you okay? No. When's he coming? Don't lie to me. How long is it going to be, man? Come on. Your friend says, he's here. Just kidding.
No.
Oh, you are such an asshole, man. Don't ever do that to me, you know, or he's not coming. Call him. I can't, man. I owe him money. You call him, you know. Call him again. Dude, I've called him 31 times. You've only called him 3. Come on. Yeah. But we're all looking for acceptance. We're in non-acceptance, and that's what the drugs did. Booze, marijuana. Sometimes a cigarette does it for people. You ever see people all flipped out and they just take that first puff? Boy, right back to that location of acceptance. That's what we want. We want to feel safe in that location. We want to feel set. I want to watch the movie and totally focus on that movie. I don't want to think about what me and my husband are fighting about, or me and my girlfriend are fighting about. I don't want to think about all that shit while the movie's on. I want to enjoy it. Enjoy. That's what the word says, to live in joy. Nice. Well, you can do that if you're in acceptance, but you'll never do it in non-acceptance. So it's a work in progress, a whip, you know, you got to kind of whip this thing. It's good. And it makes you bigger. You can take on more and more difficulties, and you can swing like the best of them. Lose 10 grand in a day, lose 100 grand in a day, make it back tomorrow, no biggie. I lose a dog. What can I do? Well, what's the stages of grief? No, what's the last stage? Acceptance? Oh, okay, I'll just go there. Forget those other stupid ones. I'm not going to live in denial. That's stupid. There's no reason to get angry that something that happened. That's stupid. So I'm just going to go ahead and accept it. Sorry if I'm an asshole. You can't just go to acceptance after an hour of losing a dog. You need to grieve all day. No, I don't. Sorry. I accept it. It happened. And once I accept it, I'm not. You know, that's it. My family member died. Okay. What are you going to do? Well, we've got this story in this world that we have to, well, was it a mother? Was it a child? Oh, mother died? How old? Well, they were 85. Okay, you got about a week. Get somebody to agree. Oh, your kid died? How old? 3. Oh, okay, you got about 5 years. 17? That's about 2 years. Okay. We've got a story about how long people should grieve. The dog? How long did you have the dog? Did other people love the dog? Did the dog shit in the house? Yeah, he shit in the house a lot. Oh, okay, get over it. You know, it's true. We've got some kind of mythical story about how long grief should be. Your husband died? How long were you together? 50 years. Oh, that's the rest of your life. Yeah, you just gotta grieve now the rest for the time. If you start being happy, everyone's gonna look at you and think you're a bad person. Your husband died last year and you're going on a cruise? Ooh. Just wanted him to die and take his money, huh? Shit, bad. I don't know.
Native American culture, when somebody died, it was a loved one to them. It was the chief's decision how long the person grieved for.
Well, then also, is it? Oh, really?
Yeah, and so like the chief would see like where you were at in life or whatever, and then decide like how long you're allowed to grieve for.
Ooh, that's awesome. Yeah. You get a month. Yeah. What's the culture where they just push them out to sea before they die? You're getting old. Stinking up the camp. Yeah. I'm coming back from this. Oh, you're not. Yeah. Or that movie, The Beach, the guys were screaming from the shark attack. They're like, take them over there. Yeah. If we can't hear them, it's not happening. You know? Move it along. Yes. So here we are. So if you have any questions about that, or if you need any help tonight,
let's open it up.
Yeah,
Such a good topic. Such a good topic. So let's open it up. If you have comments, questions, just use the raise your hand feature on your device like I just did. If you can't figure that out, you can unmute yourself, get my attention in whatever way, but we've got a good 20 minutes to have some sharing here. And if you're new tonight and willing to introduce yourself, we'd love to meet you. I see a Joy. Is that Amy?
Yes.
It is. We have to say hi. Let's get you unmuted. Amy, it's been a long time. Alex's mom, Amy.
I know. I see. I saw her all.
Yes. It took me a minute. Let's see. How's that? Did a little thing come up to say ask to unmute? There we go.
I got it.
Hey, ladies. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. It's been a long time since we've seen you. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank
Really good to see you.
This is my friend. This is my friend Joy.
Hi, Joy. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. And that's our dog.
That's your dog?
That's my dog.
So what brings you here, Joy? Oh.
That dog.
I don't know that he's going to allow me to tell you.
Well, Joy, I'd love to connect. Amy said she had a friend that was going to come on. I didn't hear any details, but I would love to connect with you. So please feel free to give me a call tomorrow so we can connect. And
Yeah, no, I can tell you really quickly. So Amy and I have been friends for a very long time because of our youngest kids. My oldest just turned 18. She is currently in a rehab down in California, which she went to on her own accord. We just had a real big roller coaster ride with her for this last year. So Amy said, let's do this. And of course, I'm always in for, meeting people and getting some support from other people as we go through this journey. So.
Hey, Joy, can I ask you something? Mm-hmm. You said, I'm going to challenge your theory on our own accord here. Mm-hmm. People say they went to treatment on their own accord. What was going on in her life right before she went? Was she having a great success in her career? And
no. She's been in 2 different rehabs since February. The last one that she was locally here in Tacoma. She got kicked out of. We were trying to help her find a better fit for her. She took off on us. She made the arrangements and is down there right now. She's not doing well down there, so there's that. But she, as a newly minted 18-year-old, made all of the arrangements, no money or anything from us. So, and there was some hope there that maybe this would be the time because she picked a place and she made it happen, but it's not happening.
Well, it was probably safer than the spot she was in.
Which was our back porch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you didn't let her come in the house?
Absolutely not.
Okay, but if you would have opened that back door and let her come in and get high in the house and have a bedroom, you think she would have made those treatment plans?
No.
Okay, so that's what I meant when I said I want to challenge that it's on her own accord, and it's for everyone else on here to understand that drug addicts don't usually go to treatment on their own accord. We put them to the test as family members, as judges, as whatever. They're put to a test, and then it's not their own accord. It's I would rather go inside and sleep in your house and do dope, but you won't let me, and I don't have anywhere else to go. So you did the right thing not letting her in her house. And the fact that you went to treatment is your doing. And I like to teach that because I believe the family has a big impact on whether people go to treatment. So,
well, yes. And so
you did the right thing.
Pardon?
You did the right thing. You made the right move. You didn't let her in your house, and
it's very hard.
And that was the hardest thing people have to do, but you did it right, and it was the right move, and it led her to treatment.
Yeah,
and I bet on her own accord is like, let me get down to a nice place in California because these shitholes up here, yeah. Nobody wants to go to treatment in Tacoma, Washington. Where you go? They don't fly in from Florida to go to treatment in Tacoma. I mean, we didn't even know they had treatment in Tacoma. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Get a hold of Angie and come in and
nice
see
to
us.
meet you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please, let's connect, Joy. Let's
Okay.
have a conversation. We'd love to get you in for a consultation so we can get to know you.
Sure.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. All right. All right. Who's next? Let's see. Let's put them off spotlight. All right. Questions, comments. Let's open it up. What are your thoughts? I know Renee was saying she was loving this topic. There's Sherry. There's boom, boom, boom. Here they come. Okay. Let's go to Carrie. I think she was the first one. So let's unmute you. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, I just want to say thanks. Good topic tonight. And to everybody, what we learned in this stuff and what you guys all learn is that this is life skills, and what you've learned tonight and how you process it and personally implement it will serve you. And I wrote down here as we work with aging parents and their personalities that they had, and it evolves as they age. What you're learning today, and as you positively implement it, it's who you're going to be when your grandmas or grandpas at 96 and helping your family. So
yeah, it was very useful to me when my mother was dying, because she was really tough to deal with. And I was right midstream of my biggest time of practicing this. And I was able to love her through things that everyone was getting mad at her about. So you're right with the parent thing.
yeah, because you probably recognize that who she was today was who she's been her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we want to be is, we want to make sure that as we age, we have a more positive way of dealing with what you call, well, the insecurities and managing the pain as you get older in a more positive way. It's easier on your heart, and it's easier on everybody else's heart. So great session. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah. Thanks, Carrie. All right, Sherry. Hey.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Good. So you talked about spiritual maintenance, and you were talking about like the daily and the plan for tomorrow, kind of going, it's like, okay, this is what hit my stuff today. And then you kind of like have to go through that reset moment at the end of the day. Then you kind of reset, go to bed fresh, wake up in the morning. Can you talk just a little bit more about that? I mean, do you do the rerun through your head, like rewind and do the rerun through your head, or do you just kind of go, okay, yeah, that hit my shit. This is where I need to think more about that and refresh and breathe more?
For me, I take it to the next level. I would go to the extent of waking people up in my life because I can't sleep. And if I needed to apologize to somebody, I'm probably calling you at 10:30 at night, because I'm not going to be able to sleep through the night if I don't. And I've now realized that I need to apologize to you. And I can't, when I try to go to bed and I owe someone an apology, it's just as tough if I try to go to bed and I'm in resentment. And so I need to get clear and back to set before I go to bed, or I don't sleep. And so if I can do that, and I can communicate with people, whether it's somebody here in the house, or whether it's Angie, or whether it's a parent that I didn't treat right that day, or whether it's this topic at group tonight and I don't like it and I need to tell somebody I apologize for how I treated them here, whatever it is, I have to get set before I go to bed. I don't do that thing where like I need to apologize tomorrow, because I will stay up all night. And so that's what I've learned about myself, is that I need to be able to sleep when I go to sleep, and I need to solve things when they need to be solved, and I need to communicate. And it's taught me to be a way better communicator, because I just do that. I just communicate and tell them back to set. So, if I say I owe somebody an apology, or somebody pissed me off and I'm going to bed, oh, that's going to be a rough night for me. So, and when I wake up, I'm still stuck on that topic. I'm not going to plan tomorrow and get myself in a spiritual state for the next day. I still got work to do. It's like going to bed before the job's done. So I would start about 6 p.m. starting to clear things up and starting to make sure that, okay, what do I got to do here to be able to sleep tonight? I need to end this day properly. And then tomorrow I can get up and be fresh and I can try again. I can try to not piss anyone else off and I can try to not get pissed off. And I can do that by looking into my insecurities and looking into my upsets and then speaking about those. And then understanding that, sometimes I got to draw it out of people. Sometimes people don't want to share their thoughts with me, but I know they're mad at me. That happens all the time. And so if someone doesn't want to share their thoughts with me and I know they're upset, I don't sleep if other people are upset. I don't do that thing where I'm like, they're upset at me and I'm fine with it. I'm not. If you're upset with me, I want to talk to you and see why and see if I can get you back to set. Because I don't like the feeling of other people being upset when I know it. I don't. So there's a lot of, it's not just, oh, who did I piss off? That person, that person, that person. Oh, well, go to bed. It's like, oh, shit. And these days get less inventory at night. You kind of make it and start doing a little better after you work on this thing. And, everyone's kind of happy with you most nights when you go to bed and it's not generally too difficult anymore. But this is early on. I never see people say this word. I never see people say, oh, I'm an insecure person. I need to work on my insecurities. It's always, I'm an insecure person. You all need to act different around me. And it's never, hey, nobody loves me because I'm not lovable. It's always, people don't love me and they should all change. And nobody else, why don't people love me? Why am I not being cared for? Well, if people aren't loving you, it's because you're closed. It's because you're shut down. It's because you're protecting yourself. You can't love somebody that's protecting themselves. You can't. You can try, but you're not going to find any return. The sun blocks itself out. You can't feel the heat. You're not going to love the sun. So it's keeping your heart open and being present and being in acceptance that lets people love us. And people look at our energy and they see it's soft and they see it's kind and they see it's slow and they see it's peaceful and they go, wow, I love you. And you talk from that place and there's love there. You can figure that out. But when somebody's defending themselves and blaming and there's bickering going on and you need to change, and how can I love that? So in order to become a secure person, I must get rid of my insecurities. In order to become a person that's loved, I have to learn to be lovable. And what that means is knowing when I'm not lovable. And when I'm not lovable, I'm angry and defensive and blaming, complaining. So yeah, it's a whole thing. Lifetime work, open. Whether you have Michael Singer, Eckhart Tolle. Michael Singer says open heart, closed heart. Eckhart Tolle says pain body. They all just put it in different words.
In the box, out of the box.
In the box, out of the box. That's right. Self-sabotage. But it all means the same. Acceptance, non-acceptance. Peaceful, angry. Renee.
Hi. Great topic, Art. I really like this because the truth is, until 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I didn't even think that way because I wasn't aware that that was a way to think. Like, instead of saying this person made me angry because they did this to me, or I'm the victim of this, it was always this outward thing. Like, I would always look, that's just the way I was taught, the way I observed people behaving, the way I learn. And no one, maybe it was said to me and I never heard it for many, many years. I don't know. But, when I finally got this message that you were talking about tonight about, it starts in here. It's, why did this person get under my skin? It's not their fault. They might be rude or whatever, but it's really not their fault. The problem is I got to start with Renee and realize, like, why are you letting somebody affect you this way? And so the message that you put out today, for, you know, all the people in the house, I'm going to say to you, just really listen to it and try to absorb it. It might not get really deep today or next week, but just keep thinking about it, because if it starts to permeate in your brain, then your reaction it's not going to be, your first reaction won't always be to lash out at somebody. I mean, I still get angry, of course, I'm a human being, and I get pissed, and I need that 7 minutes outside, like you were saying. But, you know, I mean, a lot of times I surprise myself, like, because I just like start, when I can feel like the pressure building in my body, like I'm starting to get angry or I'm hurt, and I can feel it, and I start breathing, and then it just passes, you know, sometimes. And I just think to myself, wow, that really was so different than the many decades I lived prior, you know, where I'd be pissed off at something, you know. So thanks for that.
You
And
know, that word Karen, you know.
yeah, it's just ugly, you know. It's ugly to be that person. So it's, you know,
what a goal. And you know, by the way, we went up and down and around with all this stuff, and we've been doing it for 10 years. So this was like, this stuff's so 2015 right now, or 2016 stuff, and we used to went the whole year talking about it and all that. But the reality is that, you know, what's a better goal on this planet than to keep an open heart?
Yeah, just like, why would you want to walk around being angry all the time? You know, it's exhausting. You know, it's exhausting to be angry and pissed off, you know.
And if you're in a relationship and you're a couple and you vow to stay open with each other and not close down, not defend yourself from each other, not protect yourself from each other, you know, I've really learned, well, I can either be in love or I can be in protect mode. My heart can be open and I can be capable of loving a person. Or if I go into protect mode, it starts to tell me, run, get away from this person. Starts to tell me all the ways that I can live without the person. Starts to tell me, I don't need this. I can go home and isolate. They can do this or they can do that. You know, they'll be real pissed. They'll be missing me. Watch when I take myself from them. You know, watch when I lower the inventory of art. The demand is going to skyrocket, you know. And that's my thinking, and that's protect mode. And when I'm in that mode, I'm dangerous, and it's not fun. It's not fun.
When you're in that open mode, I mean, you're like a magnet for, you know, people just want to be around you because you have that energy, or they want to know what you're doing, why are you so happy, what's going on, you know. It's like, and then in the opposite is, if you're in that other mode, it's like you do repel people, you know, and then it's like what you're putting out is what you're going to get back in. So
and that's exactly right. And I see so many kids here starving for people to love them, and they just do not get to ever, even they can't see that they are unlovable.
It starts with yourself, right?
Yeah, they can't see the difficulty of their closed downness and their protection and their isolation and their complaining, and they're telling me how they're a victim, and you can't love that. It's so hard. And so when a kid opens up and tells the truth and is peaceful and calm every time, and you can see the fluctuation. You can be in this program and watch people in group, and you can see when they're totally lovable and you start tearing up and you're like, oh, and then you can see them as a complete dick. And it's like, whoa, yesterday I was in love, now you're a dick. You know, and that's just how it is. And you might, you know, then I begin to protect myself from the person. You need to pack and go, you know. There I am.
I mean,
myself.
the message you gave, really, it is useful. If you keep putting it out there to you know, every so often, because we forget, you know, you start getting in your groove again, like your anger groove or whatever, and then, oh yeah, remember Art said start with your, you know.
Well, Michael Singer said it. Eckhart Tolle said it. Yeah. But it's brought down from. But I kind of crafted it. I didn't plagiarize. But it is true, you know, and a lot of people say if you want to check your spiritual growth, go deal with your mother. You know, go live with your mother for a week and see if you're spiritually fit, you know, and that's true, you know, because they'll be back to the same person who they are. They'll tell you, you know, you're 60 years old trying to live with your 80-year-old mother, and she's telling you how lazy you are and whatever. I know a lot of the girls go with their mother, and I've heard it over and over. The girls, their mother's telling them, you shouldn't eat that or whatever. It's like, whoa.
Sorry, Nico.
Yeah. And it's tough when a parent's sick and dying too, because you're scared. You're scared for them, and you're scared for the ending getting near, and you get short with each other. And I saw my sisters snap at my mother every now and then, and luckily I was in a good space of practice that I used that time for me to practice with my mother. And I'm happy the way that worked out. I'm not regretful, and I was able to love her as she went away, you know. But boy,
and also you have to consider they have not all of them, but you know, there is an aging brain thing too, so you have to have some compassion.
Yeah, I got it. I'm getting there. Yeah.
I'm there.
I forgot 4 things that I was going to do in the middle of this group. So, but oh well. I've attributed now though to the vape smoke in this room. So, can we just talk about how stupid all these kids look vaping?
Yeah.
We all parents just talk about how stupid they look sucking on that thing.
Yeah. All the nods.
You don't look cool. Like smoking, there was like a coolness to it. James Dean was smoking, like, you know, back in the people had to see these cool people smoking. They're like, I don't want to smoke. But this didn't get there by that way. You never looked at a person that was vaping and going, wow, they look cool. I want to do that too. You didn't. You went, that guy looks like an idiot. Let me try that. I want to look like an idiot too, you know? So it's a really weird thing, the vaping. I don't see the upside. Still not.
Yeah, you can do it inside. That's pretty much.
What a bad upside. You can eat popsicles inside.
You can't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
You
I don't
should
know. The vape
not do
thing's
it
got me.
inside. You
By the
can't.
way,
You should not do it inside.
By the way, guys, the way I'm talking parents on here, the way they transfer the vapes around, I mean, it's unbelievable. It doesn't matter how down and out the person comes. Person just came off the streets, been living homeless for weeks, sleeping with God knows what, shooting their arms with God knows what. Hey, can I hit your vape? Yeah, go ahead, man. What? And then you're going to take it back? Yeah. I mean, it's unreal. It is. If I find a pop can that is questionable whether it's mine or not, that thing's going in the garbage full.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, otherwise I live the next 24 hours thinking I got it. I don't know what it is that I got, but I think I got it. They gave it to me. You know, I'm wiping my lips. What the fuck did I just do? Oh my God. Was that not my soda? Oh, and that's the feeling. My heart just sinks. That wasn't my soda. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, are we ready, Ange?
We're ready to wrap it up. Yep.
I'm not going to see you all for 2 weeks, and I hope maybe we can kind of hit this topic when we come back, and we can remind me of it, and we can get on it again, and maybe some people can share their experience with using it, how they were able to be with a difficult person, whether it was your mother or whether it was your husband or somebody that you're in a controversial relationship with or a tough one, and learn this process and understand that, please, there is 6 things going on. I'm not just dealing with Angie. I'm dealing with Angie, her thoughts and her insecurities. And I have to understand that. And I have to understand which part of her I'm getting. And I have to understand which part I'm not. And I have to be careful. I have to sometimes pry her thoughts out of her in order to make her feel safe. Because when people are alone with an unsafe thought, that they're insecure. If I'm sitting here thinking that you might cheat on me or you might do something again, and I don't tell you, then I'm alone with my thoughts and insecurities. And they get bigger when we're alone with them. The brain devises crazier shit to think that the person is doing or gonna do. And you have to clear that up. So again, there's a quick pathway to success and peace, and that's understanding where that place inside of you is and where your heart is open, and learn how to stay there. So thank you for all coming tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And if anybody wants to invest in my main event poker, I'm actually selling 40% of myself in the main event. You may become there. So just text me on the side if you want to put in 500 or something. So thank you all. See you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good week. Such a good topic. See you moms tomorrow morning. Good night. Good night.